Hello, everybody, and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Wednesday, the 27th of August. It's hard to believe this summer is wrapping itself up, isn't it? I imagine it must be hard because some of the kids south of the border are already back at school. Um, I think for a lot of us, our kids go back next week, sometime after Labor Day. Some people might already be back. But it's the sort of a beginning, a season of new beginnings, and of all the wondering about how do we do new things, and how do we do things when we're absolutely petrified. This world I live in right now is because so much of what I'm doing, sorry, I'm trying to minimize the light here with my head. So much of what I'm doing, is brand new, and a lot of it is terrifying. And for any given day, I have conversations with people where I'm just pray to God, literally praying to God that I say the right thing, that I do the right thing. And we have to be aware that sometimes we have to do the things that scare us. I'm downstairs in my house right now, in my office, which still isn't completely set up. I'm hoping to have that done by Labor Day. But recording here in the basement. And the dog, Skunk, has never been in the basement. The couple of times that she saw me go down, she'd bark a little bit and then absolutely freak out when she saw me come back up the stairs. And today, Rob and I both needed to work in the basement, so we brought her downstairs for the first time. Rob had to bring her down, absolutely shaking. She would not approach the stairs. He sat on the first stair on the top of the top step, and she wouldn't go near him. He had to scoop her up and hold her to take her down the stairs. And she loved it down here. It's freezing cold. The air conditioning works way too well down here. But she loved it down here, found some of Dude's old toys that were in my office, and pulled out a rope and a banana that she was playing with. But when it's time to go back upstairs with Rob, she wouldn't go. Barking at him, backing into my office, she wouldn't even go near him because she knew he was going to make her do the stairs. And so he picked her up forcefully because that's the only way to get her to go. And he carried her the stairs and put her sort of on the first step he put her on was about four up. It's about probably 10 or 11 stairs. And she wouldn't go. So he just helped her move her bum up. And then she'd take a step by herself and good girl, good girl. And then she'd freeze and he'd move her bum and her little back legs up and until she finally got to the top, and she did that one by herself. And then she got lots of praise, lots of good girls. I don't think she's so fearless now that I'm going to have to worry about her coming down the stairs and getting into things. We don't have to close and lock doors yet. We're not at that stage, and hopefully we won't get there. Hopefully she'll know what to keep her nose out of. But in the meantime, she was terrified. And it's hard to watch her be terrified. And it was hard to watch Rob sort of forcing her to learn how to do the stairs. But the fact is, sometimes we have to do that. For people getting ready to send their kids off to school, that first day of school, quite often, the first day of school, we take them to school ourselves. We take the pictures and we introduce them to teachers. And we pick them up after school. But eventually, we get to the point where we know that we have to send them on their own. I remember being in kindergarten in St. Thomas, and we lived 9/10 of a mile away. So if we lived a mile away, we would have been taking a bus, but we lived 9/10 of a mile. And I think the first day of school for me, my mom, I think she drove me. And the second day, she might have walked me to school. But the third day, I was on my own. I had to walk myself to school and walk home. There were other kids I was walking with, and I knew how to go. We practiced it before school started, but I was nervous. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if my mom had been following me in the car or something, or hiding behind bushes that first couple of times. But I remember being scared. I remember thinking, I don't want to do this by myself. And the same thing when we switched schools, when we moved to Listowel in grade 4, and then again in grade 5, partway through grade 5, we moved, and I moved to Hanover, and then again in grade 7 when we moved, and I had to take a school bus to school for the first time in Niagara Falls. First day of high school for grade 9, and then grade 11 switched schools again in Niagara Falls, and then grade 12 had to walk to school. It was down the street, but it was still terrifying to go in by myself. Those first times, the thing is that nobody can do those first times for us. Rob had to force Skunk to try to go up those stairs. And we probably got 3 or 4 more times worth of work with her to do to help her feel comfortable going up the stairs before she'll even think about trying to go down the stairs on her own. And I'm okay with that. I'm a puppy mummy who's okay with that one taking a while. But the thing is, we need to recognize that we have to let our loved ones, ourselves, be scared. We have to let ourselves be scared to try a new thing. And we need to do the work of, if we can, of establishing a safety net for the first time. Or lots of soft pillows to fall back on for the first time. But there has to be that first time when we do things by ourselves without the safety net, without the soft pillows, without somebody there to catch us, when we have to say, I'm going to do this on my own. Or someone else tells us, you got to do this on your own. I'm learning how to be a bishop. Been doing it for 1.5 years now. Lots of people around me are supportive. I've got other bishops I can call on, and they're great to say, well, what about this? The fact is, none of them live in the world I'm living in. Even the bishop who was the bishop here before me doesn't know the context anymore that I am in. So I'm on my own. I have to learn these things by myself. Do I make mistakes? All the time. Am I humiliated? Sometimes. Are other people causing me to be humiliated? No. You see, the thing is, when I make mistakes, when I screw up or do the wrong thing, people are actually a lot more gracious than we anticipate they will be. People have been very generous with their forgiveness, or with their patience, or with their understanding that, you know what, I did the best I could at the moment I was doing it. I made the best decision I could, given the information I had at hand, the resources that I had at hand. Would I make a different decision next time? Probably. Maybe not. The thing is, we have to get over ourselves. Skunk, I can't bribe Skunk into not being scared. I could bribe her up the stairs, or I could probably bribe her down the stairs, get some treats and put them on the floor. And that might help her to do the work of going up and down the stairs. But the truth is, she has to find the courage within herself to do that work, so that she feels comfortable, whether there's treats or not, that she can go up and down those stairs. I have not found people leaving me many treats as a bishop, like some bribes here and there. Just kidding. I don't need bribes. I don't need treats. I need God. I need God to be the one who says, the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, to say, see, you did it. Did you fall on your face? Yeah, but you got back up. We helped you up. There isn't a thing I have done in my life from the moment I could make a decision for myself that the first time hasn't been scary. But that's the key. It was just the first time. And the second time, sometimes the second time was even scarier because now you know what you're dealing with. But by the third and fourth time, you start to learn the ropes. You start to figure out how to do this thing that you're doing. And by the 5th and 6th, or 105th and 6th, you realize you got this. Even if you still don't do it perfectly, even if you still make mistakes, you know you can do it, and it didn't kill you. We all need to learn new things. We all need to face the truth that we don't already know how to do everything right away. We aren't born knowing how to be perfect. Nor does anyone, except probably us, expect us to be perfect. So as we listen to kids coming home from school or getting ready to go for school, my husband getting ready to go to school, he starts at Assiniboine College next Tuesday, and he's nervous. I'm nervous for him. And I have new things I have to try too. As we prepare ourselves and our children and our family and friends to do a new thing, the best thing we can do is encourage them to try, to let them have their freedom, not do it for them. We need to let them walk to school by themselves and trust that they'll get there because we've taught them well. New things are scary, and that's actually a good thing. What new things are you doing lately? What's looming on your horizon that has you shaking at the knees, but preparing your backpack anyway because you know you're going to do it? Whatever your new thing is now, know that I'm praying for you, and I'm right there beside you, trying out the new things every day, whether they work or not. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and say, all right, let's try this again. Have a great day, everybody. Whatever new thing you're trying, trust yourself, trust God, trust the people around you that have done it before, and go for it. God bless. I will see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachel on Thursday. God bless.